What's going on, world? Welcome back to the Plants and PRs podcast, the podcast to help you move better, feel better, and in the long run, look a hell of a lot better. My name is Tyler Egan. I am a certified personal trainer, and I'm just a guy who likes to take care of himself and share it with the world. Honestly, in today's day and age, there's not enough of that. Not enough of that, even a little bit. If you're new here, new to the show, just want to give you a heads up that this episode will be up on YouTube, on my personal channel. It's just my name, Tyler Egan. I will link it in the show notes. If you'd rather watch the video, haven't decided yet, maybe I'll put some funny things in there to help move us along here. But yeah, welcome to the show. Thanks for swinging by. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. This episode is going to be one that I hope I make you think. I'm hoping to change your perspective a little bit, because honestly, we need to start doing something. We need to start making changes in society as a whole, as a group, as a collective, because it's fucked. It's all fucked up and backwards. Think about this. Right now, we're dealing with the pandemic, no matter what side of the debate you're on, because, some drugs are okay, some aren't. Some people think you should wear a mask, some people think you shouldn't. It's like, how does anybody know what to believe? And then I talk to some people, and they're so dead set, like, this is it. We have to wear masks. We need the vaccine. It's like, how do you know? How do you know? Because the media ain't telling us the truth. The government sure as shit doesn't know. I don't know. And it just seems crazy to me that everybody is so certain in their decision making. And right now we have people that are fucking paranoid out of their mind. I went and visited my parents at their shore house yesterday. And my parents are actually the ones that got me into cycling. And we decided to go on like an 18-mile bike ride yesterday. And my mom was like, hey, do you want a mask carrying your pouch? Like the pouch from the bike. And I'm like, why? We're going to be outside. Why do I need a mask? She's like, you just never know. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not going into a store. I know I'm not. Why do I need a mask? And I get where she's coming from. It makes sense. It's just, that's the world we live in today. Like my mom, it's not like she was wearing a mask when she was outside, but my guess is she was worried about somebody shaming her. I don't know for sure. I'll never know, but that's a very real possibility right now, and that's what's happening. People are being shamed because they're not wearing a mask because they don't think they need to. Look, if they looked at evidence and they don't think they need to, that's in their own right to decide that. And we're being told that we're not allowed to. We're being shamed into wearing masks. Flip that a little bit, right? You can't talk about someone's weight. You can't call them overweight or fat or obese, when in reality, if you do, you're more or less just kind of stating a fact, unless you're just saying it to someone just to say it, to be a dick. It's a little bit different, but like if you're just saying it to somebody from a factual standpoint, what's wrong with that? It's considered shaming somebody these days. And I get it, people are mean about it. It makes sense. I understand, but at the same time, if I go up to somebody and call them fat, if it's me personally, I'm telling you that because it's the truth, not because I'm trying to shame you. I don't want to shame anybody. I've been there. You know what I mean? When I grew up, I was made fun of because I had really jacked up yellow teeth. I got made fun of for having acne, for being skinny. I got made up for being skinny. And I've already told this on the podcast, but I was called a health freak by my coworker the other day. Why is that okay, but I can't tell someone that they are factually obese? It's a scientific term for a reason, guys. And we can't do that. So there's a lot of hypocrisy in the world right now. So I really want to get to a point here that is kind of aside from COVID and all those things. Because I think what COVID has done is it's exposed us for the sad, pathetic, lazy society that we really are. And I'm speaking about Americans here, but I got to imagine most Western countries are very similar. I was talking to a friend who lives in, I think he lives in London, but he was telling me that, their government is the same way. They don't really talk about people taking better care of their health, and they're having a lot of the same obese rates that Americans are. So, look at that. We are very sad, pathetic, lazy, overweight, and it's very disheartening to see. Because what people don't realize, and we take so much for granted these days, so much. What people don't realize is that the human body is the single greatest, and this is just my opinion, but is the single greatest piece of equipment that you are given to get through your life. And what we do is treat it like complete and utter shit. Think about the things that you put in your mouth. Think about the things you do on a daily basis. Okay, how much of those actually benefit you, your health, your body in the long run? My guess is not. Well, actually, people who are listening to me probably take their health at least somewhat seriously. And it's crazy to me that we look upon people who take their health and physical fitness to that, like, to a serious level, and we kind of shame them, like fit shaming. People fit shame you these days. People make fun of you if you want to take your health into your hands. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, when I first started eating, salads for lunch, or, before I gave up eating meat, and I would bring fruit or, a chicken breast, like a chicken Caesar salad or something like that, someone would always have something to say. And it's crazy to me that that's the world we live in. And what it's doing is it's discouraging so many people from actually taking their health and fitness into their own hands. And like I said, COVID has exposed this tremendously. I read an article by the Washington Post. It's in one of my previous podcast episodes. Go check that one out. It's, what's that one called? I don't remember. I'll link it down below. And it said that if you have underlying health conditions, you are 12 times more likely to die from this. Underlying health conditions, which include obesity, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers that can be directly related to lifestyle choices. So why are we making fun of those who want to take their life, their health, their fitness into their own hands? Why? Please answer me this. Instead, what we do is we have this society that, like, we put materialistic things at the top, at the forefront, at our priority list, and it doesn't make any sense. Think about this, guys. Really. We're more concerned about having the up-to-date fashion instead of spending a little bit of extra money on, like, organic sweet potatoes. We're more concerned with having the most up-to-date cell phone, a $2,000 cell phone. I mean, the iPhone in which I'm using to record this right now, if I'm not mistaken, was like $1,200. Why do we put that on a pedestal? Because, like, look, I'm calling myself out here. I used to do the same fucking thing. I more recently stopped, but $1,200 for a cell phone. But I can't even be bothered to spend a little bit extra money on fruit or organic food at that. How does that make sense? We put materialistic things on this pedestal, and then our health and what we put into our bodies down here. How backwards and fucked up is that? I mean, think about it. Everybody's always looking for the quick fix or something quick and easy for dinner. Well, how about you take the time to cook yourself meals throughout the week so it is easier, for one? That's one way to make it easier. Meal prep. Look, I take a couple hours out of my Sunday and I do that, and then I still have plenty of time to do other things. You don't have to sacrifice anything to achieve health and wellness. I don't understand why we make it seem like it's either you sacrifice your life or you take care of yourself. It's so fucked up. Why can't you find a balance for yourself? On top of that, we put time for Netflix, again, on this pedestal that doesn't make any sense. Nobody has a problem with binge watching a television show all weekend long, but everybody has a problem with cooking food for themselves for the week. Or even for a day. We're always just going to fucking McDonald's, Taco Bell. These fast food chain restaurants that, one, don't care about you. All they care about is making money. And people feed into it and then complain later that the big corporations are the problem in America. No, the problem is the fact that you don't want to stop stuffing your fat face with this bullshit food that's killing you. It's killing you. It is not good for you. At no point has anybody ever said fast food is good for you. We know this. If you are somebody who has even moderate intelligence and a cell phone, and I think that's the overwhelming majority of people these days, you have absolutely no excuse for not taking better care of yourself. The information is out there at this point. If you don't take care of yourself, you're doing that to yourself. So think about that. Think about that. We don't prioritize health at all. We prioritize materialistic things. And then we decide that our food should be cheap and quick. They put preservatives and other bullshit in the food to make it last longer. On top of that, these foods like Doritos, like chips, sweets, all those things, they have addictive qualities to it. If you don't think food addiction is real, I have a very rude awakening for you one day when you may realize that you actually have that. I'll admit, man, some foods are addicting to me. If I eat something sweet, I want to keep going. That's why I have to check myself. So that always comes, and everything always comes back to this. At what point do we put self-responsibility or accountability at the priority list? At what point are we going to stop blaming others and hold ourselves the fuck accountable? Please answer me that. If you're watching this on YouTube, Leave a comment down below. I would love to know your opinions on this. I just don't understand it. We value sneakers, fashion, the newest technology, all of these things, but we don't value what we put in our mouth. And I got news for you guys. Our body is going to deteriorate, like most people see. At the age of 28, I'm 26. I'll be 27 in a month. I guarantee you there are 26, 27-year-olds who feel like they're fucking 50 because they don't take care of themselves at all. And if you tell somebody that they're overweight or they're not healthy or something like that, you're shaming them. I got news for you guys. Sometimes facts are just facts. They're not, no one's trying to always hurt your feelings. And we got to get out of this victim mentality. This is just my personal opinion, but I wish somebody would have slapped me in the face before I got to this point, because everybody was just catering to my fucking emotions and it wasn't helping me. It doesn't help. It does not help. It makes things worse. And that's exactly where society is going. And if we continue to ignore the overwhelming problem with America, especially the exposure that COVID-19 has brought to it, and the fact that, again, we are a pathetic, overweight, lazy society. If we continue to ignore that, it's not going to get any better. I've done podcast episodes on obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. I talk about a bunch of statistics, of course, my opinions on it. I'll link those in the show notes too if you want to check those out. There's a lot of good information in there, but these things are killing people. The food that you are eating is killing you. And the same thing goes for smoking. The same thing goes for drinking. And again, these are not, like, I don't want to come across the hypocrite. I used to smoke cigarettes. I used to drink 4, 5, 6 times a week. I'm saying this for somebody who went through it, and I never felt good about myself. Think about this, guys. We're putting shit into our body, like complete and utter shit. Whether you're smoking, whether you're eating fast food regularly, whether you're eating like chips and just other bad foods, or drinking sugary, loaded with crap drinks, like even energy drinks. I'm a hypocrite when it comes to this. I drink energy drinks pretty frequently. They're loaded with crap too. If we continue to put this crap in our body, what do you expect to happen? Really think about that, please. Because our bodies can only withstand so much for so long. And like I said, it is the single greatest piece of equipment that we are given to go through this life. What do you want to do with yours? I want to figure out what mine is capable of. You know, if we don't exercise regularly and take our body and our muscles and our joints through these ranges of motions that our body is capable of doing, they're never going to get there. You're never going to reach the full potential of your body. And this goes for everybody. Everybody has a tremendous amount of potential. And they sell themselves short, and I don't understand why. I personally believe it's society that just kind of continually puts us down. We're being marketed to constantly to make us feel worse about ourselves, so we go buy the next big thing, and it just doesn't make any sense. So if we continue to put shitty foods in our body, if we continue to treat our bodies like shit, what are you expecting to happen? You're going to lose range of motion. Your muscles aren't going to work right. Your body's going to compensate in ways. Okay, you're going to store fat in certain areas. You're not going to, your gut's not going to work properly. Your bowel movements won't be proper. I mean, guys, there are certain things. Now, every human being is different. So, like, you know, just because I like to eat bananas doesn't mean you're going to. But it also doesn't mean that you should eat a fucking cookie instead of a banana, because the cookie is going to do way more damage than the banana will. And it's fucking up so many things that so many humans don't even understand. And at the end of the day, look at how disease-ridden we are. Diseases that, God, we can do something about it. We can do something about it. These lifestyle diseases are in our control. I don't think education is the problem anymore. I really don't. I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, that's why I'm doing this, because I want to bring more awareness to it. I want to help educate other people more. And I really want to start seeing changes made, because this is depressing. I hope I change my mind one day, or I might change my mind. I don't know. I don't want kids because of this. I do not want kids to grow up in this world. Or at least I don't want any of my own to grow up in this world because of how fucked up it is. You can be shamed for wearing a mask or not wearing a mask right now, but you can't shame somebody, or I mean, you shouldn't shame people, period. Let me just get that point across. But you can get shamed for wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. Why do I keep messing that up? You can get shamed for not wearing a mask, But you can't even tell someone a fact that they're overweight or obese because of their feelings. Let me ask you guys something. And again, I would love to hear your perspective, your opinions on this in the comments down below if you're on YouTube. If you're listening on podcasts or whatever, just DM me on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Again, all of my handles and everything will be in the show notes. But, like, what else can we do about this? I would really love to know what other people think. And what kind of society do we want our kids to grow up in, or the next generation? Because I don't want this. I want people to live long and I want them to thrive in this world. And the only way I see that happening is if we start taking care of ourselves. And we start lifting each other up instead of putting each other down over a fucking mask. Over a disease or a virus that nobody can give us a clear-cut answer on, and yet everybody has all of them. I don't know. It's just my thoughts and opinions. Let me know what yours are down below. DM me, whatever. Guys, if you took anything from this, if you agree with me, if you want to see this message get across to more people, please share the episode. Leave a rate and review on iTunes or Apple, whatever you want to call it. Subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching. Let me know what else you want to see, both YouTube video wise and podcast episode wise. But something needs to be done, guys. This can't continue to be like this. We can't continue to put materialistic things above our own health and well-being. We just can't. We're not going to survive long enough. Medicine is so counterproductive. It treats the symptoms, not the problems. And we got to start figuring out what the problems are and address them at the root. And that is health, or that is a lifestyle. Our lifestyles are fucked up. They just really are. I'm sorry to break it to you. I'm sorry if you disagree. Again, share, rate, review, all that stuff. And I'll check you guys out in the next episode.